Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and welcome back to Errors. Fall has arrived, autumn has arrived in the lovely town of Lionstone. For the last couple of minutes I've just been putting down some of these lovely autumn trees and also dealing with this land over here, particularly as you can see right here, we are losing property, and I thought I might show you how to fix that quickly at the start of this episode. The episode mainly is going to be about us doing cargo trains, but that's going to be in the short future. Mad Hatter, which is this one, has a mod called Buy the Plot, B-U-Y the plot, and what it lets you do is put down these assets, and particularly there is like bushes and trees. I'm just using the brick here, and you can put it in the pattern. So dot just means a single one, a dash means a couple, so you can just see two right here, and a grid makes it a grid of 4. I'm just using the single ones. By putting down something in the way, it means that the town won't try to grow there. And you can see how I have put down other ones across here and throughout here and returned the trees because those houses had taken over that entire area, unfortunately. So let's quickly just put these hedges back and make sure it's in line mode. And then we will do some trees. I'm going to quickly show you in the mod menu under Mad Hatter the ones I'm talking about. By the plot, so it looks like this. You can see how there's the grid, and it stops people taking control of something. And also this Mad Hatter tree asset, which I'm using the asset version. There's 2 versions, the normal one, which will replace every tree in the entire map, or the asset version where you just place the tree specifically. So if we go into the tree area, I end up getting a whole of these red ones, and so I've been placing some of them around to kind of make this place look nice. And then I'm using the JK variants. You can see we now have 5 to choose from. But yeah, I think that looks fantastic. I'm going to continue along the front because there was also a thing here, a house here. I'm going to continue to buy the plot, and then this one I'm actually going to use the bollard and full size, and then I'm just going to put this pretty constantly. I'm just going to use the build anyway mod to let me do it constantly, and that should hopefully stop the locals wanting to use this place. As long as they don't have road access, it should stop them. So I'm just going to do that all the way along, and I think that will solve all our woes. And I'm going to go all the way to the corner here. And like that, and we can't really see that. I think it looks quite natural to have those poles there, and hopefully that grid of poles is going to stop the locals from putting their houses in there. The next thing I want to do, I think that's great. I did scatter a couple around. You can see there. I just used the brush, so I just went from trees, and then I chose the slightly smaller one. This one, I made the brush size huge. I brought the strength down to 0.2. Then I just brush the area, and you get a couple, and so we can put some into the forest here. So it's just starting to arrive as a thing. So yeah, I was kind of looking forward to putting some color in the map, and now that it's late August, I thought that's not bad. Next thing I want to do is just a little bit of power lining. It's just gonna keep on pushing away at it, getting some done. And I thought I might start over here with our lovely bridge and just do from here over to there. And then that actually area is where we're going to be focusing our time today. So yeah, so we've been using these smaller ones, but alongside the train line, I think it probably should have ones that are slightly bigger. I'm tempted to go maybe 2 gang. I think the 3 gangs are a little bit big, but I think these 2 ones are kind of cool. I think what I'm going to do is use the one, by default it's like this, and then when I dock it to the track, see how it's in the middle? What I'm going to do is give it an offset, and if I get it next to the rail, it will be 5 offset that direction. And I think I'm just going to start a pretty big run here, And what I'm going to do is actually, you know what? I'm going to cancel that. And we are going to start over here in the corner. I'm going to start over here as if this building here somehow is responsible for some of this. And then we'll cross the road. And unfortunately, that's got a twist in it. So I'm going to have to fix this one. Yeah, not exactly what I was hoping for. So by default, when it was like that, yeah, I need the white pole to be on the left. So now, yeah, that comes across straight. And then we can do this. I think, yeah, I'm using weak right now. This happens to be what I had last time. It means there's a bit more of a droop, which I think with so many wires there may be. And I'm going to try to be pretty consistent here. And yeah, as we go along throughout the series, we'll just continue doing this. There's already some power cables around here. You can see that I did some down the road there. So this is kind of like joining that network. And yeah, that offset to the left does mean it's away from the signals, which I'm quite happy about. And away we go. Quickly do that. Definitely something I can do off camera and make a pretty good effect just by doing this for 10-15 minutes of work, and I think it's gonna really bring the map alive with that little bit more detail everywhere, much like last time we finished the episode by putting in a whole lot of flowers. You can see them right here. There's our new train, and yeah, I think that's a little bit more detail. Looks fantastic. All right, let's work on what we're doing today. We are going to add cargo to here. You can see that's our passenger line. Goes across. We'll use this track. And so we already have the platform. And so it's just a matter of getting it going. Much like this other side, we will need a way to get across. So we can might as well do that straight away while we're thinking of it. So I can just do that, which means we can get in on the left-hand side, which is the normal in. And then it can dock here, turn around and go out and go that way. All right, let's work out our cargo situation. So currently the station exists, but there is no depot to transfer the goods to. I'm tempted to make this quite big. I know when we first talked about the series, I thought, hey, this is going to be quite small, but you know what? I think I'm going to change my mind and actually make this a little bit of an interchange. And I'm going to go bigger, nothing. Actually, I'll go invisible, doesn't need signs, high capacity, just give it some lighting. And how's that look? I'm thinking that maybe they take the goods and put them across the road into here. I kind of want it close to the road so it's kind of consistent. Yeah, so if we put one there and one here, I think that will give us a pretty good starting spot for a little industrial area. And we'll flatten that all out. And do I want to have 3? Probably not. And then we will paint this. Which surface do I want? I think I might do this cracked one. I do kind of like that. And so we'll crackify this. Whoops, wrong key on the keyboard for rotation. And do that. And I think I might unpaint that. So yeah, we'll let that be like a tree barrier back there. We'll get rid of that one. And then, yeah, I think that's quite good. So basically, it's a free-form open area. And cars can drive in and do their thing. And smooth that all out. I don't think I want something over here. I do have a new asset. What's it under? Is it a Mad Hatter asset? For oil. So if I choose everything and go... No, Gasworks. Gas? Yeah, this one. So British gasometers. So I think that might be cool to put there. That one is huge. Oh, that's even bigger. So there's basically 3 different colors, and then they get smaller as you go across to the right. Yeah. So let's go small. And I kind of like the darker color. I might bring it down by a couple of percentage points. Yeah, and then maybe we can have 2. And I'm going to rotate that so it's on the grid. And And yeah, I think we will do that. Yeah, that's good, because that means they that animation means that they'll be different all the time. I think I might try to curve this around. So if I make that a road there and that a road about there, I think if I delete this stuff, I think I can do that. Yeah, so let's do that. And we'll delete that and that. Yeah, I think that makes it look a little bit better. And then from a road point of view, I don't like how that one is residential roads. So let's change all this up to just highway. There's no reason for houses and stuff to do that. I like that. So I think we need to do some security stuff really quickly. We'll just put in a standard fence. Let's go full hog fence. Line, adjust height, no. We'll keep it flat the whole way across. If you want to dock there, so be it. And you can go all the way over to... Yeah, let's go a little bit further. And then see if we can work out where 90 degrees is. I think it's going to be roughly there. I'm trying to make it dock to the road. And we'll come back here. Dock, finish, line. Dock. Finish, line. Actually, maybe these front ones should actually have a gap in them. Actually, I think I might make it so that these guys are see-throughable, so people can actually see what they're doing. And then we'll go with... Oh, I do like this metal one, the one with the iron bars. And where's the snapping point? Is that it? And please snap to something parallel, please. And done. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with, for a small amount of effort. That's not actually very straight, is it? For a small amount of effort, it will do. This is one of those things that's pretty easy to come back and fix later, so I'm not too fussed. Can I get an arc going? Good enough. And finish. So there we have it. Yeah, that's cool. The land wasn't overly flat around here, but I think we can cheese that by doing that. Yeah, and just smoothing it about. And there we go. We got a little bit of an industrial plant. And we have an entire place where we can do some warehousing. So talk about warehousing. Let's shove some warehouses on this. I'm just going to use this mod. How big is this? Let's go for a number 3. And I'm going to put is that over the road? Yeah, it's going to be a little bit big. So maybe the other dimension. Yeah, we'll put that right there. And I think we should be able to just line up another one. Yeah, that was pretty good. And do I want to put one in the middle here? Probably not. We can probably leave it open. That will do for now. And then we can just put some trees around this. Now, the only problem with now is now we have everything. So I'm going to have to... Where's these red ones? Yeah, fall. Get rid of the fall ones. Fall. I think the game remembers what you had chosen last time, luckily. So I think it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, so that kind of does match what we've already got. So yeah, we'll just fill that in. And yeah, we have all these nice maples and stuff. So we can at some point have like a little particular area that's not maples, cherry blossoms. We can have that type of thing going on. But yeah, that was cool. All right, let's talk about routes. Do I do the train first or do I do the cars? I think I might do the cars first. So at the moment, if we look at our lines, there is a bus around town, which is this blue one, if we zoom in a bit. And this purple one goes from here, over from Ashford over to Basement, so that can stay there. The blue one goes around town, so that's another bus route. And then we have a whole lot of industrial ones. So the role of this one, so if we go put the word cargo in here, this one is designed just to go from this station across to the freight and vice versa. So it should have, this platform should have no other reason to exist. So that one's fine. What I want to do is change it so this airport one actually now goes across to there. So what I'm going to do, just so we don't lose routing, is we're going to go between the airport and then let's go to the front one. These are going to need names. Oh, Sidings is a good name. I think I might flip it around. I think I might make this cargo and then I'll call this number 1. And then what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to rename this one to Sidings, because I think, because it's smaller, I think the ones over here make a little bit more sense when it comes to that. Let me turn some icons on. So yeah, so we'll call, yeah, that one's called Sidings, that one's called Sidings, yeah, that's good. And then we'll call this one Ashford Cargo. This is the station, this is the train station. And then we'll have cargo 1 and cargo 2, so we need to copy paste that across. Do you want to call it left and right? I don't think it makes much different. I mean, it's all relative if it's left or right. West or, I could do west or east. Yeah, this would be to the east, and then this would be the west one. We're treating north forward, as in that direction. So yeah, and then so what? Yeah, what I want to do is modify the airport, manage the line. So basically, you're going to go from east to the airport and then back again. So I'm just going to have, can I drop the freight factory off? Yeah, let me leave that on there for a sec, because what I want to do is change it so that there's a new route from here. New line. Oh, it's got the word cargo in there. Get rid of that, get rid of that. And then add station, and we're going to go from here, and then we're going to go over here. So basically, stuff will come from here and back, and then the freight factory will go over to there and back. There won't be any movement over to other places like round town or to the airport or wherever else there is. So that will be called a road something. I mean, yeah, it's going to be Road Cargo Ashford Freight Factory. And then this one's going to be, this is the one to the left, this is going to be Sidings. Sidings. Well, what we need to do is call, well, A, spell this right, put the word freight around the right way. And then this goes to the station. Sorry for hitting the microphone then, if you heard that. And then this one can be, whoops, this one can be Sidings. So basically we've got one to the left and one to the right. And this one can have a color that is kind of unique. We'll go pink. Actually, there's a couple of pinks around already. Let's go for orange. And so, yeah, so now we're going to have a route across there and a route across up to there. So we're getting more and more product up to the station, which means these boxes and everything else can go up there. Let's get some trucks on the line. We continually use the depot over here. I can't see a reason not to continue to use it. We don't buy stuff very often. Let's go for by capacity, so the biggest one, and it seems to be the Volvo, and this has packages on it, bread, paper and stuff. This is what we're going to need, and we'll start with 5. I'm not sure how many we're going to need for that line, and we'll put them on the road cargo freight up to the station. So now we have 2 in here, or 2 we want to keep. We're going to have over to the left, which gets it from the train to here, and then we're going to have it over to the right, which is going to go up and over. Yeah, I'm okay with that platform. That's good enough. And then we need a new, what can we do now? Yeah, let's move the airport one, so to not lose the station one. And then instead of the airport coming over here, we're going to get the airport to pick its stuff up from over there. So we'll manage the line, get rid of that. I actually want the source to be on the front, so I'm going to do this again. And yeah, and we need to change another platform. Let's go number 2. We'll give everybody an alternate. And then when it comes to the orange guy, same thing. We'll give them a alternate of the other 2. So if it's busy, they can go in somewhere else. And so now train comes in, much like that one, comes across, gets dumped in, and then it gets exported over to there. So it goes whiskey out to the well through there. And then if it's going by plane, it goes that way, in or out, it comes back. So yeah, that works. As far as the town's concerned, it's kind of lost access to bread and goods. And so let's add a route around town. It's going to be on this side, so it's going to come round and probably drop it over here. So let's put in some drop-off points. We'll put one out of town there. Actually, you know what? Because I don't want to go the same direction as the bus. You can see how the bus is going that direction. Let's do it the other way around. Let's start by going down this road into town. I really want the town to grow over here, so we'll go over here to the left, and then they can drive through here, come down through there, and then let's probably just put them through the middle of town. Yeah, that should be fine. And I don't know if we've got much coverage over here, so we will drop off there, and then we'll drop off there. All right, let's make a new line. The line will go from, let's go from the back one. Let's give it a nice dark color so it's easy to see. And then they're going to go all the way to the back of town, not go into here, go over here, and there. So I don't think coverage is okay. It probably would have been wise to come over here a bit more, but then we're kind of missing the middle. So yeah, but that would do. And then this is going to be delivery in Ashford. And this is going to be the main way that every single person in town can get some goods. And so for people who aren't covered by the natural distance of this guy, you can see that gets most of it. You can see how the town has only grown to where it reaches. And same thing with this. I think this does have the ability to backhaul over here, so that would have picked up a little bit more distance over here as well. But basically all these people haven't had coverage, and that's why they're not getting their needs. If we look at the crayons, the cartons, you can see there's a little bit of need out here unfulfilled, but I expect this to definitely fill up. It is saying that it's 150-ish coming into here, or yeah, well, there's 150 routes down there. Okay, so this is quite a busy road in and out. So what that means is there's that many goods moving. So most likely that delivery from around town will probably have to have a half decent capacity. Right, let's add some people to that. Let's see if I can click the depot from afar. I can. And let's go for something a little bit more cool. I do like these sours. And we'll just get 5 of those and put them on the delivery. You know what? I actually might even color them. Let's give them a nice dark color, and then they can go to delivery for Ashford, and we can go look at those guys. Yeah, I think that light blue looks good. And so yeah, they'll deliver around town. This is a little bustling area, isn't it? And so at this point, that stuff comes over here. And we can see that again. Click on that, click on that, click on that, click on that. And then on this one, that's coming in the front one. And I think we can say for there, we'll do the same thing and say, hey, you can use the other platforms if you wish. And what else do we have in here? So let's bring up our lines here. We've got this green one. So this green one is bread being delivered from the fish and chip shop by road all the way across the map. So if we click on the correct thing, this one, you can see that route. You can see it kind of winds through the valley. So we'll get them to come over, instead of the freight factory, we're going to get them to come over here, and they can drop off, say, on this one. They're going to be using platform 2, which is the middle one, but we'll give them the alternates as well. And then we'll get rid of the fake factory. So now that bread will come across the map, come into here, and then actually it's the wrong terminal actually, because this is the one that goes back to over there. So let's make it so that they're in the same facility, and we'll put them in east, and you will be on 3 at the back, and you'll have some alternates, and we can get rid of that other one. So yeah, so basically this one is completely tied up with the transfer over to there. And yeah, let's change the airport one. Do I want to put the airport on the other one? No, I think that's fine, because basically that's all kind of local interrupting, so that works well. And then blues around town. All right, is there any other ones that are here? Let's click on this. This is down to 2 terminals, which is working great. So basically, the back one here is drop off, which is good because we've got these cranes on here, so we don't really want them to glitch through stuff. Basically, this is more inbound, and then outbound is that one. So that works. Awesome. So that's a nice little redesign, and we've kind of kept everything pure. How is this going? As much as it's got 17, I think it's doing okay. As in, it's not being overwhelmed. And then the last thing to do is to get a train onto this. We are at 26 minutes. Can we do this in 26 minutes? I think you guys like a longer episode, so let's do this. So the train's going to come thundering down the line. How fast can we make the Lone Stone cargo thing? You know what? I think that's going to be more than the time we've got. So you know what? I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter. What we might do, rather than keeping it short, is I might just do a little bit more detailing and enjoy that. So let's do a little bit of diorama stuff particularly. I want to do a bit more of this. And so I'm going to join this and come over here. Yeah, I love this Powerline mod. I think it just brings so much life to the rails. Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go over here. We're going to get to the bridge, and then we'll upgrade the bridge so that it isn't just this rubbish stone bridge that we defaulted to. And yeah, half those cables are touching the trees, but you know, it's you see that all the time, don't you, in real life? So we'll come over here, and I think I can get one more in here. And let's see if we can improve this bridge, because I don't like how there's an ultra long span right here. I'm going to press pause, and yeah, let's try to tackle this. I'm thinking increase this span and then put in a piece of metal in the middle is what I'm thinking. So when we put this bridge in, it was put in straight for a reason. So hopefully it's not going to give us too much grief. I'm going to get to around there. You can see I'm trying to get this arching correct. I think that's consistent. Yep. And then we'll delete the other side. So this might be a little bit of a trial and error type situation. And then I don't like that piece being in the air. So let's do that and tell that to be dirt. It's not really what I want. So I think we need a little bit more this way. Now this is all flat, all straight around here. So what I can do is I can play with the way it looks. So this is the bridges and viaducts mod, the bridges and viaducts mod. And what we're looking at here is whether the arch is small. And so these are all bad examples because it's a curve and then a straight, and that's not correct. Yeah, here. So it's the size of this. So this is a medium arc. And if it's just, much tighter, the radius is small, that's what the S means. And so when we're choosing here, under here, so if we choose small, you can see how the arc is small. And that's what the S and M mean. And then B is big. Under the grey, they don't have the B, so I'm ignoring that. And then there's versions where the railing. So at the moment we have this railing, see how it's a stone railing, and then the other one, the one that has this the low and the bars, means that you get metal railing. So basically it's lower, that's why it kind of draws it as low in the icon and adds those lines. I tend to use the ones with the upper, so small and medium. So upper, this top right one is very common for me. It's on the menu, it's on the top right corner, so it's easy to find. So I'm looking for all the M's with the big square. So not this M, this one's an option. And then the difference between the blue and the yellow is whether it swings to the left or right. So what I'm going to do here is put in a buttress that's square, so we can put a dirt bank against this. And then we're going to start a beautiful curve that's consistent. So that's fantastic. I'm going to actually press yes on that, please, because I don't want to lose it. I'm going to turn this to dirt, which works fine. And you can see how that dirt has now butted up against that square face perfectly. And then this is too long. This flat shouldn't exist. It's not a real thing. So what we're going to do is bring out the bridge again. And you can see we've got that other piece selected right now. And I'm actually going to use this because I actually need this piece to be in the middle. And so I'm actually going to bring this out to, why is that like that? Because I'm on the other side of the track. What I want is somewhere in the middle of the river, about here, actually. I'm going to let that snap on there. Is that snapping? Yeah, it is snapping. And then we'll get rid of, not V, on B. We'll extend that track out. And what this will do is it will copy what you've got. And, oh, I lost it. Annoyingly. Okay, let me undo that. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So we got start. And then around here somewhere, I want to undo it. So see that how that arc finishes there. So risky right there. Come on, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me get a new bridge. You can do it. You can do it. Done. Then I can delete. Oh, it turned it into a curve. I lost it. Wait a minute. All right. Let's try that again. Come out straight. I think I'm going to have to go actually past the point I want. Yeah, this is very... It might have been faster for me to make the station. This can be very pedantic. All right, so get the arcs so that they're perfect. So they're all round. So I don't. If I go right, you can see some of them getting longer and longer straight tops. We don't want that. And also, it used to be horizontal. And you can see like here how it's a straight top. We don't want that. And let's get it so that it looks correct. I think it's right there. Thank you. And then I'm gonna, that's not straight though. Yeah, I really wish the game would not change what was used last. I really wish it would retain what you know, the height thing. So about there. Yep, I think that's good. And then I'm going to join on here, come back, and stop doing that. So, yeah, the game's really particular sometimes. So I'm going to come out here, and that should clone that piece. And you can see how we've got the little partial piece there. Risky, an entire bridge, an entire animation has been squeezed into that point. And, annoying. All right. Bridge. Change it to upper. Wrong way. We want the other one. Okay. Done. Wow. This is disastrous, isn't it? All right. Now. Put this in. And yeah, this is just pulling teeth sometimes. You know what? I am tempted just to have the nice edges either side and kind of ignore the middle bit. We'll keep it. We'll keep doing it. We'll keep doing it. So there. And then come out straight. Please be a M with a end bit. And so there. Straight, 0, flat right there, 0 degrees. Whew, all right, we're making it. All right, now we're gonna choose, the whole point of this is to get a nice, beautiful one of these in the middle. Let's make it so that the ratio is kind of correct. Am I happy with that choice? Let's choose the category up here. Well, we're on the Great Western Railway, so let's go this one, the green. Do I want the white lattice or do I want the railing? So the railings kind of matches when the stone has railings, so I think it's better to have the lattice. And so I think that's about as long as I want it to be. If you go too long, it'll start doing repeating, see? But if you go too long, it looks a bit weird. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen here. So I think I have to come this way. And we're going to choose this one. And then we want M upper this way. Yeah, there we go. And that arc is pretty good. So we've got, yeah, that's precisely what we want. So if I drag this out, in theory, it should just clone it up to there. And there you got it. Look at that. We actually made it. Sure, it took 10 minutes to get one stupid bridge in. But we have the correct buttress there. Buttress, I don't know if that's the right word for it. We have a way under for bigger ships. And the last thing to fix is this little bit here. So in theory, I think if I do this, I can't choose it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete it. If I bring this out, please go level, please go 0 degrees, choose that M thing with the M upper, wrong way, we want the yellow one of them. And in theory, that should be correct. That should be correct. The curve looks good. That looks good. And hopefully, this little piece here, we can just choose the M. Maybe you have to use a small one. No, so see how the small one does that. I think we just need to use the M upper, no, M curve, this one. Yeah. And clone that same segment. It's risky. It's a whole lot of bridges. There's a bridge there. There's a bridge there. A bridge there. A bridge there. A bridge there. A bridge all the way there. And then a bridge there. So yeah, we have successfully made a bridges and a viaduct based bridge. And you know what? It takes a while. It's a little bit ludicrous sometimes, but you know what? It actually looks pretty good. Let's finish it off. It's not perfect. Risky, the ratio of this piece needs to be a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not going to fuss with it. Let's finish this off with some painting tools. I'm going to go in goes water. Where are you? Right at the end. Last one before the area. Strength, strength, strength. And we're going to put a whole lot of stuff under the water. I think we actually can go a little bit stronger. And let's fill it in around here and get some life to this. I'm holding down shift to force it to paint under the water, and we'll definitely do a huge amount around there. And there is actually a longer one, this jungle one. Yeah, it's just got a longer pieces, so you can get a little bit further out into the water and get some stuff sticking out still. So I'll use that as well. That's also a good one under the water. I don't think the cypress grass helps as much, no. But I think with a bit more under there, I think we can call that the end of the episode. I really enjoyed just tinkering around and making some of this look a little bit more natural. Particularly this bridge, I'm glad we've got to this. I think it looks great. Let's press play. Let's let the train go across. And you can always hear planes go around. There's so many planes. Where is the plane? I'm not seeing it. I can hear it. There's one over there. There is. You know what? We actually have time for this, so I'm going to really quickly do this. I know I was signing off, but you know what? I'm having fun, and you can have fun with me. Brush size 100%. Make it very, very thin. Actually, I don't really like how wide this is. So bring this in a bit. And very tiny. And then what we're going to do is assets, stones, multi-select. We want the first two. I think in one of the episodes, I think it was the episode with the bridge, wherever the bridge is, this bridge. I told you to use 3 and 4. That's actually the big ones. So I actually prefer the small ones, 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 rather than 3 and 4. These ones at the end, the brown ones, I've tried to use them. I'm not a big fan. What we are going to do is, you can see as I'm painting this, I'm not getting much. I think starters, I need to blend this down a bit. Brush size, tiny. What we need to do is turn on skip collision, so which means it paints even though there might be something in the way, like another rock. Actually, I think it might actually use all of them. Yeah, so we'll do that and fade it off. And I think I actually may need to bring the land level. Press the right button, Donut. You've got this. You want number 5. That's the one. I think what we might do is bring this down a bit and then do this. Yeah. And I think that's a little bit better. And then we'll have to do those rocks again. And bring that strength down. And I'll bring this brush down a bit. Get it. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Under the surface. You actually want a lot because you want it to kind of explain why there's so many, why the river's ended. And then to finish this off, let's just grab some trees and just skip collision turned on. It is. So we can do this, which means you get trees that kind of like are underneath the canopy of other trees, and also we'll put it in the water. So I want that river to kind of like be a little bit more overgrown there, and that will be it. All right, I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks so much for watching. It's really enjoyable to talk to you guys and talk about the future of the series. Looking forward to getting a massive cargo station added to Lonestone next time. So that will be next Saturday, I think, if my math is correct. So that should be fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll put it. Well, thing is, the main line will come out and the freight needs the same kind of access. So I think the only place we can put it is over here, or over here somewhere, maybe down. I don't want to put it on this side of the river. So yes, there, I suppose there's probably the obvious place. And yeah, then we'll get the cargo to come across and go that way somehow, I guess. But yeah, that'll be next time. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. I mean, the great Errors tour map, tour thingy, whatever it is, of Transport Fever 2. Bye, everybody.